What are the top positions of need for the Pittsburgh Steelers if they are to be competitive in the 2023 season? Steeler Nation, and welcome to the latest episode of your Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate. Thank you so much for coming on and joining us here on this latest episode. Guys, if you've only just found the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate, and if you want a fan-driven channel run by fans for you, the fan, then this is the channel for you. The best channel out there, a channel that isn't rude to its live chatting podcast, a channel that is all about you, the Steeler fan. So hit that sub, ring that notification bell, and come and join the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate. Well, guys, we had a very promising end to the season, didn't we? The Steelers 7-2 finish after the season, and some real positive points. You know, Kenny Pickett grew fantastically as the season went on. George Pickens showed himself, I think, to be the next Steelers wide receiver one and streets ahead of Deontay Johnson. Pat Freiermuth showed himself to be an outstanding tight end. Connor Haywood is starting to grow into that role also. TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, absolutely outstanding as outside edge pass rushers. I thought Cam had another great year. Minka Fitzpatrick, for me, the best safety in the NFL. Terrell Edmonds, I think we do need to have him back again. Kazee, another one to re-sign as well. But in order for the Steelers to be successful in 2023, we need, I think, to address certain key positions. There are certain positions on this team that still need to be addressed. Now, whether that's done through free agency or whether that's done through the draft is obviously going to be open to question. And a lot depends on who is available in the draft and who is available in free agency. And if there are certain players at those key positions available in free agency, how much is it going to cost to bring those players in, given obviously the Steelers cap space? I think it stands at about 15 to 17 million currently, with a number of decisions still to be made. Obviously, there may be restructures on contracts. There is a lot of talk of restructuring Cam Sutton's contract, which currently sits at 22.5 million. Not Cam Sutton, sorry. Cam Haywood's contract, which currently sits at 22.5 million for the next 2 seasons. Also, talk of Miles Jack being cut as he's not worth 12.5 million, or restructure being done on his deal. So there still could be more cap space generated by Omar Khan, who, as we know, is a cap wizard. But what are the top positions of need, Steeler fans? I mean, let me know in the comments below what you think the top positions of need are. But I've done a little list. I did a reflection. I looked back across the games. I looked back across some of the statistics, the defensive statistics, the offensive statistics, and looked at where I thought the top positions of need were for this Pittsburgh Steelers team. And this is what I came up with. And this is in order of need, I believe. Cornerback one, for me, is the biggest need for the Pittsburgh Steelers, bigger than the trenches. Now, hear me out on this. If you look at the performances of the defense, the area that the defense fell down was cornerback. We don't have a lockdown cornerback. We have not had a lockdown cornerback since Ike Taylor. Now, the Steelers in the games this year were burnt by wide receiver ones on numerous occasions, even on 3rd and longs. AJ Brown, Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, all owned our cornerbacks, because whilst Levi Wallace, Cam Sutton, and Akella Witherspoon are very good at what they do, they're cornerback twos. I think Sutton does need to be re-signed because he'd been excellent cornerback two to a cornerback one. Now, I don't want to hear this rubbish that the Steelers can't draft cornerbacks. One mistake, guys, one mistake, because they were very much hung up on the position and the player they wanted was gone, William Jackson III. But on the other hand, we have drafted some good cornerbacks in recent years, Cam Sutton, for example. So cornerback one, I think, is absolutely vital. And if you look at NFL teams that are successful, that do well, cornerback one is as vital as an outstanding wide receiver and as an outstanding quarterback. You look at the Bills, they've got Tre'Davious White. You look at the Chiefs, they've got Snead. You look at the likes of the 49ers, Emmanuel Mosley. You look at the Philadelphia Eagles, they've got Darius Slay and James Bradbury. You look at the Bengals, they've got top cornerbacks. Everyone who is a contender this year has top cornerbacks, and that's something I think we need to address. So my first pick in the draft would be on a cornerback. Then I think D-line is a priority because Cam is not getting any younger. We need someone to come in there and supplement Cam. And DeMarvin Leal, I think, is a big piece for the future. I have my doubts of Montrevious Adams. I have my doubts of Isaiah Loudermilk. So I do think that D-line is a priority as well. And that could well be the 32nd pick or a free agent. The O-line, I think, is still a priority, a left tackle. But I don't think, after the improvements the O-line made this season, that the O-line is such a huge position of need. The O-line made massive steps forward this season. Yes, I think left tackle could be, or left guard could be something we need to address. You could even move Dan Moore to left guard and sign a left tackle. I think that is something we do need to address. That might be better being addressed in free agency because we do need some veteran experience on that line. That's what that line is lacking. Pat Mayer, I think, out of all the coaches this season, has done the most amazing job with this offensive line to move it forward. You look at how it developed from the preseason to the end of the season. The offensive line is not an issue. It's not a massive problem. It's an average line, but could get better with a few key free agent signings and perhaps somebody in the second or third round of the draft. I think inside linebacker and outside linebacker are easily interchangeable there. I think obviously Devin Bush is gone. Jack will be gone. That leaves you with Spillane, Robinson, and that's pretty much it. So I think there is a need there to go and get an inside linebacker, whether that be in the free agent period or the draft. Who knows? And we will be talking about that. Outside linebacker is definitely a need. There is no depth behind TJ and Alex Highsmith. So we do need to go and address that position. And I think wide receiver is also a position of need. We have George Pickens as our wide receiver 1. But for me, there is no key slot receiver there. Calvin Austin could become that. But there is no real talented wide receiver 2. Deontay Johnson is a wide receiver 3 because when it comes to big games, he just goes missing. Yes, he is an elite route runner. Don't get me wrong. But when a big game, when we need him, he drops the ball. He chokes in big games. Look at the Cleveland game. He caught 2 of 9 targets and dropped so many balls because, again, it's a big game. Pressure's on. Deontay doesn't show up. Classic Deontay Johnson. Now, what I'm going to be doing, Syndicate, is over the next few videos, I will be talking about each position in turn and talking about who we could draft or who we could sign through free agency to give you an awareness of what is coming up and who is coming up for the Steelers, who is a possibility for the Pittsburgh Steelers to sign in the draft or in the free agency, and trying to make a value judgment as to who would be best for the Steelers moving forward. So in Saturday's video, I will be talking about cornerback 1 because obviously for me, that is the biggest priority. Then obviously in the Tuesday's video, I'll talk about defensive line, offensive, and so on. That's my plan. Steeler Nation, let me know in the comments below any players that you think we should sign, any free agents you think that are coming up the Steelers should show an interest in, and who in the draft impresses you the most. People like Kelly Ringo, Joey Porter Jr., Jalen Carter, Kalijah Clancy from Pitt. Who impresses you the great coming out of college this year? Anyway, Steeler Nation, remember to hit that sub, ring that notification bell. Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate brings you podcasts. It brings you daily video content. We've also got Mackenzie Miller on board, former Fox reporter, who does Ask Mackenzie, a fantastic podcast. If you didn't catch that, go back and check that out. Thank you so much for watching, Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Hit that sub, ring that notification bell, and we're going to finish it as we always finish all of these videos, guys. Here we go, Steelers. Come on.